Hans Aumeier was born on August 20, 1906, in the town of Hamburg, in the German Empire, where he attended primary school for 4 years and then secondary school for 3. In 1918, he left school, aged 12, without any qualifications to take up an apprenticeship as a turner and fitter in a local rifle factory, following his father's career. In 1923, he left the small factory in Hamburg and began work for a bigger company in Munich. In 1925, he tried to join the Reichswehr, but failed and returned to the rifle factory in Munich, but he had trouble settling down, and after taking up similar positions in other factories in Berlin, Bremen and Cologne, he became unemployed. Between 1926 and 1929, Aumeier moved from one job to another, taking on part-time work and summer jobs. He was an early member of the Nazi Party, joining in December 1929, and in 1931 he joined the SO and was then employed as a driver at the SO headquarters in Berlin. In December 1931, Aumeier was transferred to the SS, where he worked in the garage as a driver and was on the staff of Heinrich Himmler, the head of the SS. On February 1, 1942, he was transferred to Auschwitz, and was appointed head of Department 3, and named Schutzhaftlagerführer at Auschwitz I, where he stayed until August 16, 1943. It was during his time at Auschwitz he made a name for himself, responsible for many evil crimes, like torture, beatings, and executions. On March 19, 1942, 144 women were shot at the execution wall in the courtyard of blocks 10 and 11 on his personal orders. On May 27, 1942, he was present at a mass execution of 168 prisoners who were shot in the same way. On August 18, 1943, Aumeier was found guilty of corrupt practices and theft of gold from the victims of gassing, and as a result, was transferred from Auschwitz on the personal orders of Commandant Rudolf Höss. According to an interrogation report, Hans Aumeier stated that between May and June 1943, while still working at Auschwitz, he was ordered to report to the higher SS and police leader Ostland, Obergruppenführer Friedrich Jeckeln. He was attached to the SS Construction Brigade of 5th SS Panzer Corps. This unit was responsible for building fortifications in the area near Leningrad, and was under the command of Organization Tot. Aumeier would command a Jewish construction unit of 7,000 men with orders to construct the Vaivara concentration camp for Estonian Jews. After he was discharged from Auschwitz, he returned to Vaivara as commandant and remained there until August 1944, when the camp was evacuated and all prisoners were made the responsibility of the commandant of Stutthof concentration camp. On August 20, Aumeier reported back to Jeckeln and found himself attached to a police battalion part of Battle Group Jeckeln, stationed near Riga, in Latvia. Here, he took part in his only frontline engagement with the enemy as his unit tried to attack the southwestern Estonian island of Saaremaa, but were unsuccessful. It isn't known what role he played in this attack. In October 1944, shortly before the surrender of Riga, Aumeier was ordered to report to SS Gruppenführer Richard Glücks at Oranienburg, near Berlin. He took this opportunity to ask Glücks if he could return to his old unit at the Dachau concentration camp so he could visit his family nearby. His request was granted, but he became ill with an old eye injury and was sent to hospital, where he stayed until January 1945. When he was discharged, he reported back to Oranienburg and was asked whether he wanted to go to occupied Norway to become commandant of a new concentration camp at Meissen. He again asked for leave to visit family, but this time it was refused. On January 22, he arrived in Oslo, and was told he had to supervise the building of a camp to house approximately 3,000 prisoners to be used in slave labor. It seems that Aumeier successfully managed to build this camp, and his treatment of the prisoners was very different from his treatment of those at Auschwitz. He worked closely with the Norwegian Red Cross and even let them into the camp. On Monday, May 7, 1945, he opened the camp and released the prisoners. On June 11, 1945, he was arrested at the Turningmoen camp in southern Norway as a result of information taken from Gestapo files obtained by MI6. He was still in his full SS uniform, and admitted his name and rank immediately. He was handed over to United States intelligence officers at Akershus prison in Oslo for interrogation in August 1945. In 1946, he was extradited to Poland to face trial as a war criminal along with 39 other members of the SS staff of Auschwitz-Birkenau. The trial would be before the Supreme National Tribunal in Krakow. The trial lasted from November 25 to December 16, 1947, and Aumeier stated that if he was found guilty and sentenced to death, he would die as a scapegoat for Germany. He told the court that he had never killed anyone at Auschwitz and neither had any of his men, and denied knowledge of the gas chambers. On December 22, 1947, he was sentenced to death, and he was hanged on January 24, 1948, in Montelupik prison, Krakow, Poland. He was 41 years old.